Hey guys, it's B Scott. Welcome to another episode of Ride Along. I'm here with B-Man as per usual.
Guys, been a while, hasn't it?
Second, we have a little bit to talk about this week. Class of Paris.
In Paris.
In Paris. Wonderland Halloween Haunt, and this new place that we just went to. Gaming Social. What was it called?
It's
something gaming.
I know we're terrible at the dining in
Game Social or something. Anyways, it was in Vaughan.
It's on my channel.
Yeah, because he did a vlog. But yeah, let's get right into it. Clash in Paris.
So, of course, we're taping this on Friday. We haven't. Well, he probably knows it's on SmackDown, but I haven't seen it yet.
I know bits and pieces.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you probably look it up on social media,
but I don't think they've announced anything for Paris yet today.
Well, they've announced 2 matches so far. Most likely a third, which would be. So far, we've got John Cena versus Logan Paul. So, okay, I guess. That's the thing with these overseas pay-per-views. It's usually these, like, what do you call them? I guess you call them special attraction matches, but they're matches that nobody really cares about, to be honest.
Who do I think will win, and who do I want to win? I want Logan Paul to win, but I think Cena will win.
Yeah, I personally do not care either way. I hope there's a way where they both lose.
So who do you want to win? Like, even though you don't care, you still got to pick a winner. I think I know, though.
I guess Cena. If I had to pick, if you put a gun to my head and told me I had to pick one, I'd say Cena.
Yeah. Woo! Because we're so excited.
Yeah, you could just feel the excitement. Anyway, what else? There's a Fatal 4-Way for the World Championship. Seth freaking Rollins defends against CM Punk. Who's that other guy? I know the third guy, but I can't remember the last. Oh, Jey Uso and LA Knight. Yeah. I gotta be honest, I was expecting something more along the lines of like a 6-man tag at the pay-per-view you got with Knight, Punk, and Uso versus the Seth Rollins group, which I guess they're calling the Vision. Which I could probably think of a better name, but anyway.
Right? Like, that's the name of a guy in the fucking Avengers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what do you call it? The guy.
The very smart guy.
Paul Bettany played him.
Yeah. Like, what a stupid name.
Yeah, well, I guess it could have been worse. At least they have a name finally after, like, what, 2 months now? 3 months, something like that. But, yeah, so who do you think's going to win that one?
I feel like Seth's champion, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's losing necessarily.
I don't either, but you never know. I mean, if there's a chance that he's going to lose, it'd probably be here. But yeah, I agree. I think Seth's
I doubt it. I think he's going to hold it for a while. Maybe lose it at Survivor Series.
Well, it depends, because there's War Games, and usually the last few years, I think there hasn't been any title matches.
Back that up.
Title matches.
It's what? War Games! You're supposed to say it with aggression in your voice.
War Games!
Have some enthusiasm in your voice.
It's hard to get enthusiastic about wrestling sometimes.
That is true.
But, yeah, so you got that coming up in November. Which, okay, fine, but, you know, it's kind of like, because Triple H wanted to do away with theme pay-per-views, but now he's got the whole War Games thing going on every Survivor Series. So, I don't know, it's weird, but because remember the last couple of years they've had it, they haven't had any world title matches, I don't think. Yeah, I know they haven't because the first 2022, and I think 2023. No, 2023 was there. I think Roman was off 2023, but 2022 he was champion. That was the first main roster War Games, and then last year I think Cody was on in War Games. So yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, Cody was on one side and Priest was on the other. 2020. No. I don't know. I just know there hasn't been any world title matches at Survivor Series lately, so I don't think it's going to happen this time either.
You never know. Isn't it 2 nights this year?
No.
Oh.
That was SummerSlam. They're not doing 2 nights yet. They probably will, but not yet.
I thought I heard that all the major pay-per-views are going to be 2 nights now, including Money in the Bank.
Well, I don't know, because, I mean, that just, like, dilutes the special... Because WrestleMania, I can understand being 2 nights because it's WrestleMania, you know? And besides, it used to be where they'd have shows that used to be going, like, 5 or 6 hours. Not counting the pre-shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense for WrestleMania to go 2 nights. SummerSlam, I think, was, like, the least... If they were going to do any more 2-night pay-per-views, the Rumble would have made the most sense. Not SummerSlam, and probably not Survivor Series either. And definitely not Money in the Bank.
I could see Money in the Bank and Royal Rumble, because here's how you could do it. If you had a good amount of matches, men's second night, women's first night, same with Money in the Bank. You can main event with the women's the first night, and then the men's the second.
Okay,
So
but then where does it stop then? If we keep doing 2-night pay-per-views, where does it stop?
No, but...
And then WrestleMania goes to 3 nights.
No, but listen. Those particular events have men and women's matches like that. Like, they have the specialty matches. It makes more sense. I agree with you, not all pay-per-views should, only the specialty ones. The major ones, like SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
But SummerSlam doesn't have any specialty, though. It's just the biggest party of the summer.
It's an important pay-per-view.
It's important, yes.
It felt like a WrestleMania this year.
But it doesn't have any. Yeah, but it doesn't have any specialty gimmick matches like the Royal Rumble or like Money in the Bank.
But it's like WrestleMania, right? Like, it's the big night feel.
I guess, but I don't see the point of having all these 2-night shows.
But I agree with you. It should not be every pay-per-view. It should only be the big ones. Like, I don't want to see a 2-night backlash. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, well, if they keep going with 2 nights, you're going to see a 2-night backlash eventually. And then WrestleMania is going to be 3 nights, and then SummerSlam is going to be 3 nights.
I don't think it'll ever go that way, but you never know.
Exactly.
If they had another division, I could see that, but I doubt it.
The only other pay-per-view I could see that needs to be 2 nights is the Royal Rumble, because those matches tend to go a long time. You can, even Elimination Chamber, you can go like 35 minutes at most, so you can fit 2 of those on the pay-per-view. Same with Money in the Bank. Same with War Games. You don't have to go that long. Royal Rumble has to go long, so I can see the Rumble being 2 nights.
I mean, I could see Survivor Series, men's second night, like you said, the men's War Games second night, the women's War Games the first night.
But again, those don't need to be 2 nights. Those matches don't have to be that long.
If they book the shows right, it could work. If they do the booking right.
Yeah.
It's how they do their booking, and it's
I guess, but I
do see your point though. Like, I really hope it doesn't come down to every pay-per-view, and like I think they should bring back the Women's Evolution pay-per-view every year. I think that should be a thing.
I don't think it'd be every year, maybe every other year.
I think every year thing. Every year.
No, I think every other year. It's more special that way. That's what I'm saying. Like, you overdo stuff and it doesn't feel as special anymore.
It's all about the booking, though.
Booking's fine, but I'm saying, okay, now we got WrestleMania went 2 nights. That felt special. That felt like a big deal, right? Now watch when they're doing SummerSlam 2 nights, and then when they do Survivor Series 2 nights, and they do the Money in the Bank 2 nights, and they do the Royal Rumble 2 nights. WrestleMania's not going to feel as special anymore, because you got now 5 pay-per-views per year that have a 2 night instead of just a 1.
What makes it special? The nights or the booking and also the matches? What makes it special? You watch it for the matches, right?
Right, but WrestleMania is supposed to be the biggest show of the year.
Yeah, yes. But
if you make every show 2 nights, then WrestleMania doesn't feel as big anymore.
I mean, yes, and that's why I'm saying don't make every pay-per-view 2 nights. Although, I will say, this past SummerSlam felt like a WrestleMania. With the size of the stage and everything. It felt like a WrestleMania. Same with Elimination Chamber. Like, I was there. It felt like a WrestleMania. But, I mean, I don't think it'll ever take away, because WrestleMania weekend has the Hall of Fame. It has NXT. It has all that stuff. Raw. And I do believe SmackDown. So that's how, you know what I mean? So, like, yes, like, I see your point. But, like, for me, the biggest thing is you watch the shows, you watch pay-per-views for the booking. You watch it for the matches. That's what you look forward to. Like, it's not just, oh my God, it's WrestleMania. If they don't have good matches, you're not going to want to watch WrestleMania. Like, remember a couple years ago, it was like, what a shitty WrestleMania. The card was bad, right? Like, it goes by the, in the booking, right?
Yeah.
And if you remember a couple years ago, like, the booking was shit. I think it was the WrestleMania before this one, was it not? Yeah.
No, this year's WrestleMania was kind of crap. Last year's
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
that's what I mean.
Last year's was amazing.
It was very last minute. It was shitty booking. Like, that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying booking over and over, because that's how you have stuff to look forward to. But yes, I see your point, though. Like, you make valid points, though. I hope it doesn't do every pay-per-view 2 nights, which you're right about, because we'll see what happens.
Anyway, so I guess we should move on now. So let's talk about, do you want to talk about Han, or do you want to talk about what we were just at?
Isn't Gunther fighting it?
No, he's out for a while.
Oh, because I thought he was supposed to be fighting.
No, he's out. He's taking time off.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, because he got hurt. All right, let's get into Han. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, they what they did is they're adding to Halloween Han at Canada's Wonderland. They're adding an upcharge of $10 minimum, because it's probably going to go up later in the season. Adding an upcharge of a minimum of $10 to enter the Halloween Haunt mazes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be clear, if you hold a season pass, then you can still get into, like, a gold season pass, I should say, not a silver one. You have at least a minimum of gold pass. So you can still get into Halloween Haunt. You can still do the rides. You can still go through the scare zones, all that. But you can't go in the mazes unless you pay a minimum $10 upcharge. Plus, they've added a new thing this year. It's a new experience from The Conjuring. And that is an additional upcharge. So you're paying $10 to go in the mazes. And then if you want to do The Conjuring, on top of that, you'd have to pay another $15. And I honestly think that's absolutely ridiculous. Because even still, they were saying the part of the pass perks is to do all the stuff at Halloween Haunt. Which if you bought a pass for 2025, I think 2025, 2026, which I haven't done yet. But anyway, that's not really the point. The point is, it was supposed to be included as part of the gold and prestige pass deals, where you get a limited access to Halloween Haunt and all the mazes and pretty much everything in the park. That's open. You get all the access to that by buying the gold pass. But now they're saying, oh no, we're adding an upcharge. That's absolute ridiculous. I'm sorry. That's just so stupid. I'm so mad about that. So you gonna say something?
Yeah, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm actually, as of right now, because we talked about this last night, I'm actually for it. Now here's why. Amusement Insiders, if you guys know who they are, they're a YouTube channel. They actually said this extra $10, if it's used, now you gotta think, everyone who goes into mazes and also goes on this Conjuring thing, which will be a lot of people, if they spend that, if that money goes directly into the mazes, into the Conjuring experience, and makes it better, I'm okay paying a little bit more. I know I am one of the few people that say that as of right now, but again, because you gotta think about it like this. If they do that, and they put all this money from the admission passes, like for the mazes, back into the mazes, and then into the Conjuring thing, and it actually does, like I said, I don't work at Cedar Fair, like I don't know what their budget is like, and they actually increase it and like they make it better, I'm for it. But if they don't, then I'll agree with Brandon here and say it was a waste of money. But as of right now, I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say I actually agree with this. I mean, it's $10. Like, they could have done 15, they could have done 20, they could have done 20.
They may still, depending on the day and how late in the season it is.
I did see a video that said apparently in October they might do 30. But nothing's been confirmed yet. If that happens, I will agree with Brandon. As of right now, I don't see it that bad as $10. I don't. But at the end of the season and the next haunt, if we see improvements, I will continue to support. If we don't, I will stick with Brandon and say it was a waste of money. But let's see what happens. But now the funny thing is, other Six Flags parks have horror movie themed mazes, like Darien Lake has a Saw one. They have a bunch of other ones. I wish that the mazes this year would have been like a little bit different, but unfortunately the mazes themselves are the same old mazes and also the same old scare zones.
Exactly. So like if they totally revamped everything or offered brand new mazes, and then they said, okay, well this year we're trying out a $10 upcharge. Everything's brand new. Everything's gonna be awesome. Everything's gonna be high level quality. I'd be like, okay, let's give it a shot. But because it's all the same, and I do not have any faith whatsoever that they're actually going to put that money towards better mazes. It's just all going to go in the pockets of corporate, I guarantee you. But I have no faith in it, and if, like I said, it's all the same stuff. So I'm completely against it. I do not like it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Cedar Fair and also
Cedar
Darien Lake.
That's actually perfect.
Six Flags, as their birds, they're a publicly traded company, because I do believe they do conference calls, and I think Amusement Insiders join them. I would love to join and hear on their conference calls how their budgets are operated, because if I heard that this extra money is going back into the mazes and then into the Conjuring thing, I'd be for that. But we'd have to see. But now here's another rumor I heard. You may know more about this than I do. Alpine Fury allegedly was over budget and opened late. So this is their way of trying to get that money back. I don't know if you've heard anything, but that's
it would not surprise me if
this is their way of trying to get the money, because apparently it went over. Yeah, because it opened late, right? Like it opened in the summer, did it not?
Yeah, it opened about a month ago.
And it was supposed to open in May, was it not?
Yeah.
So it's over budget. Well, and it was probably very expensive. So this is Wonderland's way of trying to make their money back, because they're broke. They're putting it back. So that's a rumor too. Like, I'd like to know if that was true. If it's true, I will change my opinion and I will agree with Brandon.
But now, if you think about this too, because they recently put their passes on sale.
Yes.
Which was a great, which I will give them credit, is actually a really great deal, because it was anyway until they took away the whole thing with the haunt. But anyway, so what their passes were was, I think, for $99 for a gold pass. I don't know how much the prestige pass is, but anyway, for $99 for a gold pass, you'd get obviously unlimited visits to haunt, regular season, and apparently you'd also get free fast lane passes. 2 free fast lane passes, and then like I said, unlimited visits, all that stuff, and also free parking, which I don't drive, but for guys like B Scat and of course KJ, they drive. And it would honestly, I would say it would be a fantastic deal, and apparently they've sold a lot of those passes.
Although when I went to the fireworks last year, I parked at a school nearby. Now I understand that this was a long weekend, and I don't know how they would work in the summer, but you could possibly park at the school.
You don't forget you work at a school though.
But I don't work for York Region.
Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure.
I'm just saying as like a general thing, though.
I'm not sure if there's really any difference, but in any case,
because a bunch of other people parked there, so yeah.
Well, fair enough. Maybe because it's. Anyway, but my point is, like, for people who don't do that, they want to park at the actual park instead of parking however far away and walking and stuff. See, that for me, that is actually a decent value, right? And apparently it's supposed to have, but now it's still going, I think, until September. But my point is, though, they say they've sold a lot of those passes, so odds are they've more than made their money back by now, because if you haven't been to the park, but trust me, there's a lot of people. Amusement Insiders was saying, and I went there the other day on Wednesday. This is coming out on Sunday, but I went there on Wednesday, and the lines were pretty bad. Like, well, to be fair, like the single rider lines for Yukon Striker and Behemoth, when I went on, they were okay. They didn't have to wait that long, but buddy, I'm telling you, the Alpen Fury line, oh my goodness.
So here's what I'll say. If you're right, hopefully they do a conference call in the fall. I'd like to hear the results of that and hear how much revenue they've made. Then again, I might side with you. It's all about how much money they're making, right? And I think also, even though it's been years, COVID really hit them. So I think a lot of companies are still feeling the effects of that.
Well, I think it's
of the
not,
lockdowns and shit.
Yeah.
So that could still be a factor too. Like there's a bunch of shit that happened, right?
I don't think it's necessarily about the money as far as some people's complaints about the upcharge. It is partially for me, but that's partly because I haven't gotten my new season pass yet.
Yeah.
Because I know people could say, "Oh, well, you just look at the fine print." Yeah, well, it shouldn't have to be buried on the like freaking tiny ass like 1 millimeter size letters at the bottom of a website or whatever. It should be right there, saying,
I agree.
Advertising in full view, saying this pass does not include entry into Halloween Haunt mazes.
I agree.
But they didn't do that, did they? I think that's just what it is. It's not necessarily, you can't. I don't think you necessarily call it false advertising, but it's definitely an omission on their part. Because if people bought the pass expecting to get into Haunt and they weren't informed otherwise, you know, that's pretty scummy business practice, if you ask me.
I agree with you. They sort of, now, it had been rumored that like this was coming for a while, but the parks sort of confirmed it because,
especially
again,
before they put the new passes on sale.
We're quoting Amusement Insiders again for the 10th time on the show.
Yeah.
I believe Brendan. We need to have him on the show because we need to
I
get
don't
him
know
involved.
if we'd be able
talk.
to get him on it, but anyway.
But actually, he'd be able to give us a lot of information. I believe he said in a previous video he had reached out to the park or Grace Peacock, who is the director of communications, and they did not respond to him about that inquiry. So that right there is where your point comes. Why were they hiding it?
Kind of makes you think, doesn't it?
And they didn't even do I don't think they did a press release. Well, I mean, they did.
Well, they didn't do it before they started.
Shitty.
Yeah, they didn't do it before they started issuing the new passes.
Yeah.
And selling new passes.
And like once you start to hear rumors, especially in the press, like in the theme park media world, let's call it, you really need to do damage control, and you need to go out and say, look, this is true and this is not true. Same thing in politics. If you start to hear rumors, that's when you start to see the politicians in their camps come out and say, this is true, this is not true. So it's kind of like politics. You really have to play damage control because it'll affect your reputation, right? And it'll also be interesting to see the numbers from Haunt this year if they go down because of this now. Because a lot of people, especially the young people, are angry about this. So once the fall, I don't know like when we're going to get numbers from that. Probably maybe early next year or even like let's say November. I want to see how many people compared to last year. Especially after this, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be interesting to see the numbers. Yeah. If we can even get a hold of those, I hope we can. But, you know what I mean? Because like, we should be able to. But
yeah, so let us know what you think below. Yeah. I think personally, it's like I said, it's a scummy business practice. They shouldn't be doing that stuff. And like I said, if they were planning on doing it, then before they started issuing the new passes and saying, oh yeah, you get unlimited access to Haunt and all that stuff, should have been like, okay, well, we want to start upcharging, so we have to let them know. Say, okay, well, you can get into Halloween Haunt, but you'll need to, if you're going to buy the pass, you can get into Haunt, but you need to pay extra for the mazes.
Yes. Great conversation.
Yeah, I know.
But now it's a wait and see, because you know what? At the end of the day, and I don't mean this in a rude way, we're both talking shit right now. When we go there, our opinion might totally change. Like we might, I feel like we are going to do the Conjuring thing, even though
I'm very iffy on that. Very iffy on it. See, sorry, let me just say this. See, when you do something like, if you do something like a special experience,
yes,
that I can understand you charge a little bit for. I completely understand that. But when it's something you've had for however long now and it's always been free and now you decide to charge for it, That's what I don't like.
Now, about that special experience, they actually released the job. What's it called? The job. What's it called?
I guess the job fair.
Yeah. So they released the job postings.
Yeah.
For it, and I was reading it. They're hiring people to climb walls, to fly. So this looks very, very good. By the sounds of it, like you have to audition, you have to be it. Like it sounds like you got to be comfortable climbing walls and basically flying on zip lines. Like we're talking like. I thought like before they announced it, I thought it was going to be like a wagon ride, but then I thought about it. I'm like, there's not enough room in the park.
Yeah.
And then they announced Conjuring, right? So it'll be interesting to see the kind of experience that they do.
Okay, I will give Wonderland one piece of credit, one bit of credit, and that is apparently now, if you go, I don't think it's on Friday, so it doesn't affect me anything because I can't do weekends anyway. But apparently now on weekends, instead of Wonderland like normally what Wonderland would do during Halloween Haunt is they had the park open regularly during the day on the weekends. And then they would they'd kick everybody out, close the park for 2 hours, and then Haunt would be a separate ticketed event. So you'd have to come back. They kick you out, and you have to come back in. Or if you bought a ticket if you buy like a single day ticket for during October, and you went during the day. So you brought your kids, you went to Camp Spooky or Snoopy, Camp Spooky, whatever the fuck it's called. And you just and you wanted to come back for Haunt, like just by yourself. You get your wife or your husband, bring your kids home and whatever, and you just wanted to go by yourself. Well, you'd have to leave the park, buy a separate ticket for Haunt, and then come back in a couple of hours. But now they're not doing that anymore. So what they're doing is, if you bought a single day ticket to go to Wonderland during October during the daytime, now you could stay in the park the whole time, and when Haunt's, and then like instead of kicking out for 2 hours, it's still just open, so it goes straight into Halloween Haunt at night. That'll be interesting to see how they do that, because they kind of have to set up those mazes. Like they're already set up, but like there's small things, so like that would be pretty cool to see how they do that. That would be interesting.
Yeah, and I wonder if they'll let you walk through the mazes during the day without scare actors.
Apparently that's part of the Camp Spooky experience.
Oh.
They let you walk through. They let the kids walk through some of the main, like Cornstalkers and Spirit Manor during the daytime.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so I will give them credit. That's one good thing they did, but it doesn't necessarily make up for that scummy business practice.
That would be kind of actually cool to do, to walk through Spirit Manor like during the day, even though like, you know.
Well, if I could join you on weekends, I would, but as it stands, I don't even know, because we are planning something on one weekend during October, but I'm not sure how that's how that's going to pan out, I should say. But anyway, let's
what we did tonight.
Yeah. Again, we don't remember what the hell it was called. Gaming Social. Something like that.
It's a new restaurant in Vaughan, but it's been around for a while. Basically, fancier version of Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, I was just going to say, think of Dave & Buster's, but fancier and smaller.
It used to be the racetrack, the Wheezy racetrack or whatever.
I have no idea. I've never been out that way.
But it's actually pretty cool. The bar was cool. The games were cool. He fucking won a bunch of tickets.
Yeah, right near the end, I won about a total of 670 tickets.
It was a pretty cool place.
In my last 2 bits of credit. But it wasn't cheap, I'll tell you. They do have, if you saw my video, I showed you the amount you can spend and the amount of credits you get. But apparently on Tuesdays it's half credits, so if a game was, say, 14 credits on Tuesday, it would only be 7, right? So definitely it'd be probably better to check it out on Tuesday. But it was decent. Some of the games were definitely new, which I like. You know, you get some old ones. Of course, Mario Kart was there. Shocker, I know.
Actually, the Top Gun one was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a new one for sure. I've never seen that one before.
The fighter jet, and you can fly the fighter jet and shit.
And then there's yeah, and then obviously, like I said, there's some classics and stuff in there. I also have another place that has a little mini bowling alley thing. So that's like the third different place I've seen so far. Is the one at there's the Palladium at Fairview Mall. There's the Playscape that's Meadowvale, and then this place. So there's probably gonna be more to come eventually. I won't be surprised if Dave & Buster's starts putting one in.
Bowling is back in style.
I guess so.
They were closing a bunch of bowling alleys years ago, and now it's back in fucking style.
So what did you think of it?
I loved it. It was fun. I would give it an 8 out of 10. The bar was pretty good too. The guy was nice. It was,
Yeah, I'd give it about a 6.5. A little more cynical.
I mean, the food prices were...
Yeah, well, I mean, they were kind of standard, I guess.
Yeah. I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. It was pretty good. I'd definitely go back. We might try to go to the other locations.
Yeah, there's other locations in GTA. There's one in Mississauga.
Oakville, I believe Burlington.
I think so, yeah, something like that.
So maybe we'll do all 3 in one night.
we have to go pretty early.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out.
But, yeah, so anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. Nothing I can think of. How about you? Anything going on?
Not particularly. I can think of, anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I guess you're going to take us home.
Alright, guys, that's it for now. Peace.
See you later. Peace out.